Hey, what's up, Cardfighters? BOTCG here, and we're going over KETER. So I have been doing this for each nation for this upcoming set, Illusionless Strife. So yeah, I'm not completely familiar with all the cards. This is just an opportunity for me and you, the viewer, to go over each card and see what they do individually. This will be set up auditorially to where you don't have to be looking at the video screen to be able to know what's going on. So if you were just having this like you were listening to this on a car ride or while you're at work, that also works as well. Moving on to the first triple rare, Faded One of Time. Ladio Amorda. I'm gonna butcher these names, guys. I'm really bad with names. But her skills are Auto Vanguard. When this unit attacks, cost counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards, bind it, search your deck for up to one card with the same card name as that card, call it to rear guard, and shuffle the deck. And it also has Auto. When this unit is put on guard, cost discard a card from your hand, put two cards from Bind Zone on the bottom of your deck in any order. Choose one of your units of Faded One in its card name, and it cannot be hit until the end of that battle. So it's interesting that it says Faded One in its card name, which means that you can just use this in Raziel technically as a secondary Vanguard plus more PGs if you have I guess the best way is if you have multiple ways to put cards into the bind zone would be the best way, which I'm not sure if KETER has that many besides Faded One of Time. And then her divine skill is Auto Vanguard. If the unbalanced unit attacked, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, choose a card with the same card name as this unit from your drop zone. You may ride it as stand. I do believe this procs Persona Ride if you haven't Persona Ride yet. I'm not completely sure if Persona Ride is only during the ride phase, but it also gets -1 drive until the end of that turn. So basically, the divine skill is an extra Vanguard swing. It doesn't seem bad. I don't particularly know what all her support cards do, but her herself as a vacuum doesn't seem like a terrible card. Next triple rare we got is Knight of Bow Strikes Nibilaris. This is grade 2 auto. When this unit's placed on rear guard by your grade 3 or greater Vanguard's ability, it gets 10 KT in that battle, so this works with Faded One at a time. And it also has auto rear guard. At the end of the battle, if unit attacked, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard of Raziel and its card name, cost Energy Blast 3, put this unit to soul, draw a card, look top card of your deck, put it on top or bottom. So the second ability only works with Raziel, but the first ability you can use it with Faded One at times on attack bind ability. Next triple rare we have is another grade 2 Sword Saint of Intrant Idris. It has Kant Rearguard. During your turn, if your bind zone has a card with the same card name as this unit, it gets 10k power, so obviously this is meant for Faded One at a time. And then it has Auto. When this unit is bound from Rearguard during your turn, if you have a grade 3 greater Vanguard of Lydial in its card name, costs Soul Blast 1, draw a card, choose one of your Vanguards, gets 5k power until the end of turn. Doesn't really work well with the Divine skill because the Divine skill is a superior ride, so you don't get to keep the power. But it works with the first on attack skill, obviously. Both effects work with the first on attack skill. Next is Ghastliness Dragon. This is another grade 2. It's a double rare. It has auto rear guard when your Vanguard is placed during your battle phase. Cost Energy Blast 3, counter charge 1. That unit and this unit both get 5k at the end of the turn. So this is for Faded One of Time. This is works for the Horseman deck that came out in the Triple Drive Extra Booster, and this also works for Youthberg as one card, multiple. As long as this card stays on the board, you get multiple instances of counter charge 1 and a 5k buff to your Vanguard in this unit just for Energy Blast 3. This is an amazing support card for those decks. Like, I don't know if they made this specifically for Faded One at a time, but it's good. It's really good generic support for those two other decks, the Horseman deck and the Youthberg deck. Next we have Obligator Dragon. This is a grade 1 8k double rare. Auto, when this unit is placed on rear guard from hand, if you did not play an order this turn, Cost: discard a card from your hand, search your deck for up to one order card without Regalis piece, discard it, and it gets Cont. This card can be played from drop, and when it would be put into drop after being played, put on bombing your deck instead. Until end of turn, shuffle your deck. So these are just every nation is getting these new order searchers that can basically like foolish an order and lets you play that order from the drop zone for a discard. I guess I'm not sure if KETER does just takes advantage of this and just cuts the number of orders they're actually playing, because there's no restriction on this guy. The only restriction is if you didn't play an order this turn. So yeah, I'm not sure if this is gonna like be another key piece in KETER pile, but I think they're solid cards for what they are in every other nation. Next is Grade 1 Double Rare Magic of Stimulants Euphoria. It has Cont Rearguard. During the battle scene, it boosted if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard of Lydio in its card name. It gets 5k power. So it's a 13k booster if your Vanguard's Lydio, and then has auto rearguard. When it boosts a grade 3 or greater Vanguard of Lydio in its card name, it gets 2k power. So it's 13 if you have the faded one Vanguard, but it's 15 if it's boosting the faded one. And then it has cost Soul Blast 1. Choose one card with the same card name as any of your units from your drop zone. Put on bottom of your deck. Choose one of your units, gets 5k at the end of battle. I don't like how that's attached to the secondary effect. I kind of wish that this cost Soul Blast 1 was like an act skill that you could potentially spam, like a not once per turn act skill. But it's probably solid enough for the first wave of support. Next grade 1 double rare is Academic of Endeavorings Ethel. It has auto and it's placed on rearguard if you have grade 3 or greater Vanguard of Solryron. This is Solryron support. There's quite a few Solryron cards in the set actually. And its card name, cost Counterblast 1. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose 2 grade 3 or less units from among them. Call them to rearguard, shuffle your deck. And if you called 2 cards, choose the card from your hand, reveal it, put it on top of your deck if it's a normal unit, and discard it if it's not. So this is kind of like that one card that it's like that one card. It's like Diaglass Sorceress. It was like one of Hexover's first support grade ones. This reminds me a lot of Diaglass Sorceress, but I believe Diaglass Sorceress is draw instead of Superior Calling. But this is just really great. It's setup, it's board building for the Solryron deck. Really good support for Solryron. I don't know if it's actually going to be a rogue contender or not, just considering how warped our meta is around Shiranui. But very solid support in a vacuum. Grade 3 rare Salvavar Dragon. Con to rearguard during your turn. If your bind zone has the same card name as any of your units, it gets 10k power. So this is for the faded one of a time deck. Next grade 2 we have is Academic of Atomization Lectures. So I guess his name is Lectures. Auto rearguard if the unbalanced unit attacked. If a normal unit was revealed by the ability of Vanguard Solryron, more Solryron support. Cost, put this to your soul and countercharge, and if this unit is placed on rearguard from deck this turn, draw a card. So this is more countercharge for the deck, but more importantly, because Solryron already has built-in countercharge in the grade 2 of the ride line, but more importantly, this can also net you a card if you, like, say you called this off of Ethel's ability. So pretty good cards that synergize with each other outside of what Solryron's already doing. Like, this already synergizes with Solryron's already doing, but these two cards synergize with each other. So they're kind of meant to be played together. Next grade 1 is Knight of Retirance Maghaya. It has auto drop when your Vanguard is placed during your battle phase. Costs Energy Blast 3, calls to the back row. So again, this works in the Faded One of Time deck. This works in the Raziel deck. This works in... Oh no, it doesn't work in the Raziel deck. It only works in the Faded One of Time deck. It works in the Horseman deck, and it works in the Youth Perk. But notably, it's only to the back row, so I'm not sure if a card like this would actually see play or not. Next grade one is Grag Guion. It has con to rear guard. If your unit was placed by the ability or Vanguard Divine skill this turn, this unit gets auto rear guard. The end of battle this unit boost cost. Retire this unit, countercharge 1, and plus 5k power. Oh, okay. I was reading it wrong. I thought you had to use the divine skill to get the counter charge, but you don't. Okay. Cool. So basically, this is a counter charger plus 13k booster or attacker for no 13k booster for the Faded One Time deck. Oh no, this also works with Raziel. Okay, it works with Raziel or the Faded One Time. So you could just spam this with Raziel. This is like actually legitimately strictly better counter charger than the discard counter charger that Raziel currently has. Next is a grade 3 Divine Sister Bugnay. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard from deck, it gets 15k power. So can be used to Faded One Time and quite a few different KETER decks. Since a lot of KETER decks, it's not terribly difficult to Superior Call from deck, but not all of them focus on that. Like you could play this in Ezel. Next is a grade 2 Dansune of Slender Sword Diantha. It has Conch Rearguard. If your other unit was placed on rearguard from deck this turn, this unit gets 10k power. So again, for those strategies that are just superior calling from deck, like Faded One Time or Ezel, I'm not sure if like this I could see being played like as a one of or two of. I'm not sure if a card like this would be played at all, just considering of how high KETER's card quality has to be now, outside of just like the 12 cards that make up KETER pile currently. Next grade 2 we have Player of the Beautiful Chord, Egnalina. Auto, when this unit is wrote upon by the grade 3 card of Lydial in its card name, choose any number of normal units from drop, put them on the bottom of your deck in any order. If you chose 3 or more, draw a card. Now I know this works in conjunction with the grade 1, because I believe the grade 1 like lets you draw cards and discard cards. But this like a very the ride line for Lydial is very filter heavy, which I enjoy that because it like lets you see more options. It lets you see more cards, which like inevitably lets you see more options. So I am a fan of this ride line. Player of the Lovely Harp, Aphrogus. This is the grade 1 of the ride line. When it's rode upon by player of the Holy Chord, Soul Blast 1. Oh, okay. I understand how this ride line works. So, Soul Blast 1, draw 2 cards, choose one normal unit from your hand, discard it. If you did not discard a normal unit, discard 2 cards. So, this is like a delayed Ranker chain, except you don't have to discard a normal order. Instead, you have to discard something that's way easier to do, which is discard a normal unit. Next card we have is another grade 1 All Right Egret. It is Conch, Rearguard, and Guard. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard of Lydia in its card name, it gets 5k power and 5k shield, active on both players' turns. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit late at night when we're recording this. So basically, all the new Faded One decks got cards similar to this. Again, I'm not like the biggest fan of these cards, but I don't think they're not dog water. But I don't see them seeing much play. Maybe like fringe, like one or two tech playable, just because of card quality. Just like how good supporting cards have to be now, just because of how good generic staples are, in my opinion. Next, we have Grade 1 Academic of Ingathering Harvestein. As auto, when it's placed on rear guard, if a Grade 3 or greater Vanguard Soul Iron is card name, choose up to one Grade 2 or less normal unit without Sentinel from your drop, put it on top of your deck or into Soul. So this is more Soul Charge for Soul Iron, which I think the deck naturally was Soul heavy, but it also helps you manipulate the top of your deck, which I believe the way the deck operated was they wanted you to manipulate the top to whereas you wanted to be a normal unit so you could superior call it and create an extra attack with the card that you superior called. If I'm not mistaken, I do have a few friends that have piloted Soul Raron, so maybe they could give me a more accurate description of what that deck does. But this seems like a solid card for the archetype. considering what it does. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of archetypes that would, you know, they would eat their firstborn for a card like this. This is actually a really good card in my opinion. Next grade one is Divine Sister Sorbet. It has auto rearguard. At the end of battle, this unit boosted. If your unit was placed on rearguard by your Vanguard's ability this turn, cost retire this unit. Choose a grade 3 or greater card with Sarvasil and its card name from your soul or drop. Put on bottom of your deck. If you chose a card, choose one of your rearguards and it gets 10 KT in that turn. So this is the cycle of those grade ones that each of the trial deck bosses are getting for Divine Z. They're just I don't think they're the best. I forget which one. I think it's the zoo, the Storkea Nation one that actually like lets you draw a card no matter what. But they're hard minuses for a little bit of value, which the 10k is nice, and you're calling. It's pretty easy to superior call cards in KETER, so you're not minusing too much. But I'm just not a fan of the fact that they don't auto replace themselves. But they're just kind of like you have to run them for those strategies. Next we have grade 0 starter player of the Olafant to Bilnista. Not much to say here. We have a grade 3 normal order, source swiftly to save precious lives. Its ability is choose up to a total of 3 normal units the same card name as any of your units from a drop. Put them on the bottom of your deck in any order. If you chose to remove draw a card. It's what's that? Not Painkiller Angel. That's Drilling Angel. That's Drilling Angel, baby. Is that Drilling Angel? I think it is Drilling Angel. That's funny. So I'm guessing you want to be playing this in the Fade 1 of Time deck. I'm not exactly sure, but it seems like it's dumping a lot of cards into the yard. I'm not sure if it has the best ways to get them back outside of this order, so maybe this is like an auto include. Again, I'm not particularly sure. So outside of that deck, I don't see a card like this seeing much play. That's it for wow. That was actually a very short list of KETER cards. Going into the quintessential quintuplets, the one for KETER, Yogasoba, Nanako. Again, I'm gonna butcher these names, guys. I really apologize. Grade 3 quintessential quintuplets. Auto, when it's placed on Vanguard, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 2 quintuplets from among them. Choose a card from the revealed cards, put it into your hand, and put the rest of the revealed cards into your memory and shuffle your deck. So all the grade 3 quintuplet bosses have this first effect. And then the second unique effect is Auto Vanguard. When it attacks, cost Counterboss 1, it gets 5k power at the end of the turn for every 2 quintuplets in your memory. If your memory has 6 or more quintuplets with different card names, you get a draw card. And then Auto Vanguard, when this unit attack hits, choose a quintuplet from your drop, put it into your memory. It has Auto Vanguard, begin your turn if your memory is 7 or more quintuplets with different card names, and a total of 14 or more quintuplets, you get to win the game. So this is a new win the game effect. I'm not sure if they chose the right nation, to be honest. I could see potentially building like kind of like a value strategy with this deck until you can like grind your way into this win condition. I'm not exactly sure how easy it is to get quintuplets into the memory, but it's interesting to say the least. It's interesting as like that there's another avenue of winning the game which we haven't gotten. I don't think we've gotten that in D series. We haven't gotten another way of winning the game in D standard yet. So this is a very interesting that they put it on a collab card, to say the least. Next card is Grade 2 Shining Smile Yotsuba Nanako. Auto Rearguard, when this unit attack hits, if your Vanguard is quintessential quintuplets, Yogasoga Nanako, cost Counterboss 1, put a quintuplet from a drop on the bottom of your deck, search your deck for up to 1 quintuplet, put it into memory, shuffle your deck, and then if your memory has 5 or more quintuplets from card names, you get to draw a card. So basically this is CB1, and like put a card into memory, and then if you have 5 or more different cards in your memory, you get to draw a card. So obviously you want to play this card. You want to play all the supporting cards for these types of decks. Grade 2 Bride's Letter Yokosoba Nanako. This is the grade 2 of the ride line. It has auto when it's placed from riding grade 1 quintuplet. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 quintuplet from among them. Put it into memory and shuffle your deck. I believe all the ride lines do the exact same thing, except it has a different power condition for the secondary effect. Like this one's condition is if you have 5 or more cards in your memory. If your card was put into memory this turn, it gets 5k power. If your memory has 5 or more quintuplets different card names, it gets 10k instead of 5k. That's its secondary continuous effect. Next, at grade 1 of the ride line, Night After School Festival. Auto, when the student's placed from riding the quintuplets grade 0, you get the quintuplets memory crest, and search your deck for up to 1 quintuplet, put it into memory, shuffle your deck, and then it has Kant, Guardian Circle. If your memory has 3 or more quintuplets different card names, it gets 5k shield. Next, we have another grade 1. This is a supporting grade 1. Day of School Festival, Yokuza Nanako. Auto, when this unit is placed on a rear guard during your main phase, you have a quintuplets Vanguard, look at top 3. Choose a 1 quintuplet from among them, put it to memory, and shuffle your deck. So all the quintuplet ride lines for each nation are getting this similar support card grade 1. Again, it's just actually even the secondary ability is the same. Kant rear guard, if your memory has 3 or more quintuplets different card name, it gets 2k power. Active on both turns. And then we have the grade 3, the grade 3 order card, which I think this is one of the better ones out of all of them. Memories of School Festival for Yokosuba Nanako. It's a grade 3 order card. Choose 2 quintuplets, same card name from your drop. 1 goes on the bottom of your deck, the rest go to your memory. And then you get to perform the following according to number of quintuplets, different card names in your memory. 3 or more, choosing your Vanguards gets 5k to the end of your opponent's next turn, so there's some defensive capability for what this deck's trying to do. 5 or more, countercharge 1. I believe all of the quintuplet orders say that. That's the 5 or more condition. And then 7 or more, choose one of your quintuplet rear guards, and it gets auto when this unit attacks. This unit performs drive checks in that battle, and then at the end of the battle, put this unit into memory. So yeah, I believe this was one of the better ones just because this got actual card advantage in terms of the last skill for like drive checks. So if you did call a grade 3 rear guard, which I guess would be Persona Ride if you're really down bad, you would get twin drive on rear guard and you would keep the drive checks, or like the most you'll get 1 drive check, which is really nice if you're on hit grade 2. And that is it for the KETER cards, guys. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Again, the way I feel personally about the quintessential quintuplet ride line cards and cores is they're good to pick up if you wanted something solid. I'm not saying that they're the best because I know that we're getting them super late in comparison to when they were released in Japan, so I don't believe they're going to be one of the higher echelons right now, but I do believe if you want to pick up something solid for like pretty dirt cheap, just like how the Bank Dream cards were pretty dirt cheap, then I would recommend one of the quintuplet ride lines. Obviously, there's going to be a better one out of all of them, but I think they're all pretty solid. Like, I would probably play this one, or I believe the Stoicheia one is also pretty cool. Like, I think those two are probably like the better ones, or at least the KETER one is the most interesting. But anyways, guys, again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you all have a great night. Later.